I'm finally back from my 10-week break. Today I'm gonna give my thoughts on SCR 1.9 and its other patches up to this video's release. We will start with 1.9.0, and then we'll work towards the latest patch of 1.9. But before we get onto the video, I've noticed that only 15.6% of my viewers are subscribed. So nieces and nephews, if you like this video and my other content, I recommend you subscribe to my channel as soon as possible, because I'm on the road to 3,000 subscribers. Anyways, let's start with 1.9.0. On the 15th of May 2022 at 9 PM, British Summer Time, which translates to 4 PM Eastern Daylight Time, SCR version 1.9 was finally released to the public. It showed station upgrades along Waterline, Express being extended to Newry, a new map, and disruption events. We will start with the station upgrades first. Here is the new Newry Harbour. It looks way better than the previous version. You can see a cruise ship to the left of the photo shown on screen, which is a good addition. Here is one of the platforms. There are two platforms in an island formation, but with the addition of Express going there, which we'll get to later, I guess it's there for that reason. But besides that, great look. Here is its second platform. Some great work they did there. However, I think there is one thing missing, which is overhead line equipment. What do you think of the lack of overhead line equipment at Newry Harbour? Tell me in the comments. Let's move on to Newry. Once again, this looks better than the previous version. Some changes you can see are, the terminating platform for the waterline services has moved from the left side of the station to the right side of the station, facing northwards, which I don't care for. You can also see passing tracks in the center which aren't being used by passenger trains. I guess they're for scenery, or as some people are speculating, freight, which I don't think is coming to SCR anytime soon. The scenery has also improved, like the superstore added to the right of the station facing northwards. Here is one of the station entrances. Much better looking than the old station entrance, and same goes with the other station entrance. Here is the waiting room of Newry. I think it's a good addition to the station. Here is the upgraded Eden Quay. In my opinion, it's better than the previous version. This looks like a village by a quay, or dock. The station resembles a bit of Dockyard Station in Plymouth. I love how they kept some of the rainbow towers in Eden Quay, because this is what Eden Quay was famous for. There is also a subway that goes under the quay, which is a good addition I guess. Near the station entrance, they added a basketball pitch, shown in blue. Another great addition to Eden Quay. Before we continue, I did mistaken the new Eden Quay as Ashland Park from its sneak peek. Ashland Park was upgraded in 1.9.1, but we'll get to that later. Let's move on to Faraday Road. The station hasn't been upgraded that much, but I like the addition of a siding near platform 3, where the class 730 is on screen. The depot, however, has been upgraded massively. The new depot definitely looks better than the previous version. Now let's talk about other scenery changes. The area where the developers decided to split the line into two tunnels is apparently between Newry and Eden Quay. Some people did mistaken it for the James Street extension, but I never thought about that. There are also new speed limit signs, and same goes with whistle boards, which look okay I guess. There is also a playground near Eden Quay, which is a cool addition. This is a good area for players to play in. In Morganstown, the branch coming from Morganstown docks has connected to the Express and Connect tracks. Because Express has been extended to Newry and Newry Harbour, I guess it's needed. And because it's connected to the Connect tracks, a route from the Stepford area to Morganstown via Benton may be possible, but I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. We'll talk about that in more detail in a later video. Now let's talk about Express going to Newry and Newry Harbour. There are 4 new routes added to Express, shown on screen. There is also Benton to Lynn, but that goes via Morganstown. You might be asking, could they have done Benton to Lynn via the Benton Tunnel? I think that would have been better. Also, I feel like extending Express to Newry Harbour was completely unnecessary. Extending it to Newry is kind of okay, since it does generate a bit of cross-country theme to the game, but I think extending it to Newry Harbour is a bit too far. Like, if you're a passenger, just get off at Newry and change to a waterline train if you wanna go to Newry Harbour. Now we'll talk about the new map. Oh my god, it looks so fucking awful. I don't understand why they had to modify the map to make it look like this. They could have kept the map how it was, but just put express to the Newry area, and put express via the Morganstown shuttle. Also, it's not like Stepford UFC is near Newry, nor is Whitefield near Ashland Park. Overall, a horrible looking map. Now let's talk about a brand new feature that was implemented to SCR, and that is disruption events. A disruption event could be something like a lorry crashing a bridge at St. Helens Bridge, or a flood between Leighton City and Leighton Stepford Road. There are many signs which are used in disruption events, and I'm gonna explain what they mean right now. This sign reminds the driver that a disruption event has happened in a certain area, so they should be prepared to slow down. This sign with a number on it, and alternating flashing lights means the driver should prepare to slow down to the speed shown in the yellow box. This sign without flashing lights means that the temporary speed restriction has started. This sign with lights means that the temporary speed restriction is still in place after you leave the station. A number may also be located underneath the lights to remind drivers of the speed restriction. And finally, this sign means the temporary speed restriction has ended, and the drive may now return to the normal speed limit. If you wanna know more about the disruption events on SCR, you may go to the wiki page linked in the description, since I'm not gonna spend time talking about all of them in the video. And that's all I have to say for 1.9.0. There were no upgraded trains or new rolling stock, which would have been nice for that update, but it doesn't matter, since we have upgraded trains and new rolling stock in the other patches. We'll move on to 1.9.1 now. We're gonna start with the train upgrades, and then we'll move on to upgraded stations and some other bits. We're gonna start off with the Class 195/2 on Connect. The Class 195/2 is non-existent in real life, but whatever. I was surprised from the sneak peek that the 195 was coming to Connect, considering that we already have the 195 on Waterline. But I guess it makes sense for the 195 to be on Connect with the 331, considering that the 195 and 331 are on the same operators in real life, which is Northern. Anyways, I like the upgraded 195, and the addition of the destination boards on the sides, which were non-existent in the non-mesh version. And before you ask whether the 195s on Waterline were meshed or not, here they are. The meshed 331s look good too. I like that they kept the Pride livery on the 4-coach variant of the 331. Now let's move on to the station upgrades. There were only 2 station upgrades in this patch, West Benton and Ashland Park. Here we have the upgraded West Benton. The station entrance looks okay on the outside, but what I like the most about the area is the market stalls near the station entrance. There is also a model of the Class 165 inside the station entrance, which is quite cool. Here we have the statue of former developer Matty X 2013. A good addition to the area. Here are the platforms at West Benton, which look okay I guess. This is the station upgrade that I was looking forward to. Finally, Ashland Park has been upgraded. This definitely looks better than the previous version, which was notorious for having bland scenery. We can see that the staggered platforms at Ashland Park are gone, but it doesn't matter to me. As a result, Woodhead Lane is now the only station to have staggered platforms in the game. But what matters to me more is the scenery has greatly improved. I see there are catenaries at Ashland Park, but no overhead lines, which is quite weird. They'll probably add the overhead lines in a future update. Here is something weird I saw near Ashland Park. As you can see, there is a 6-lane highway with hard shoulder, and then it ends at a level crossing. Very unrealistic here. And that's all I have to say for 1.9.1. Now we'll finally move on to 1.9.2, which brought in an upgraded Stepford East and the upgraded Electrostars, excluding the 357. Here is the upgraded Stepford East. At the end of the station, the platforms are curved. Also, they have finally added overhead line equipment. I'm glad they added them here. The furthest car marker at platform 2 at Stepford East is in fact an S car marker, and not an 8 car marker. However, there is a 6 to 8 on the Airlink platforms. Could this mean we'll have 8 car long trains on Airlink in the future, like a Class 708 coach or a Class 387 double? We'll have to find out in a future update. Now we'll move on to the upgraded Electrostars. Despite the Class 377, 379 and 387 being meshed by Tobii, also known as overhead wires, in 1.7, they have been meshed again. In my opinion, they look better than the ones meshed by Tobii. I heard some people think it's ugly, but I don't think so. Here is the first class in the upgraded Class 387. It is way better than the one in Tobii's model. My concern with Tobii's 387 is that the first class had a 2x2 seating configuration, which was quite unrealistic. In the new model, it has a 1x2 configuration, which is better. I was quite surprised that the Electrostars, excluding the Class 357, were meshed for the second time, but at least they look better than the previous version. Anyways, that's all I have to say for 1.9.2, and now let's move on to the conclusion. Overall, SCR version 1.9 did bring in some station upgrades, particularly on Waterline, which definitely look better than before. I also like the addition of the Class 195 on Connect, despite the 195/2 being non-existent in real life. Stepford East did get some overhead line equipment, which was very necessary. However, my least favorite thing about the update is the new map, which looks so fucking awful. I think the previous map was better. Also, I think Express going to Newry Harbour was totally unnecessary, but Express going to Newry was okay. I can't wait for version 1.10. Yes, it will not be called 2.0, it'll be called 1.10 instead. Nieces and nephews, what do you think of SCR 1.9, including 1.9.1 and 1.9.2? What did you like the most and what did you not like the most? Please share your thoughts by commenting below. That's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe for future content, and I will see you later.